Honorary sound man Kevin Riley tonight sitting with us. We got Aaron Kilgore from the East Coast.
East Coast
Four times, yeah, the East Coast Meat Puppets, 4-time Super Bowl champ, self-proclaimed fantasy guru. Gotcha.
Man.
Yeah, we got to get his. You still don't have one.
I didn't bring my rings because I couldn't write last time. I was like,
All right, now that that's over with. So, moving on. Shenanigans. Where's my pistol at? So, moving on. Moving into week 3, we got this week's matchups coming up. And we're going to kind of run through these real quick and give you a rundown on maybe some sit and starts we think you might want to look at. Also, some injuries that you may not have been apprised to, right?
You might not be aware of it.
Enunciate. I don't be aware. That's it. DeMarcus aware. So, jumping right in here, first matchup I got sitting in front of me for this week, we got DK Comics and East Coast Meat Puppets. It's a father-son battle royale. So we got actually it's a 2-point swing is what they're projecting
I put
at.
9 points last week.
And
I'm not scared, but I'm concerned.
You got Antonio Gates on your bench already, who's injured and
for now.
Sitting.
Might be in a matchup. I made a pickup to adjust accordingly.
Now y'all both are looking at strong, solid running backs this week. You got Rice, who's been consistent. You've got Arian Foster, who's not just consistent, but powerfully consistent. So, I mean, other than that.
I moved Trent Richardson into my starting lineup. I picked up Prater in the event that Antonio Gates doesn't go. If I have to make a call early enough that day. I'm comfortable with my team.
Well,
and I don't see Bush put up 41 points, so I think that
he might not.
I think that might flip the script a bit.
But the only thing that you can see from what I'm looking at, we got Steve Smith running against New York. Might have a better shot with Crabtree catching against Minnesota. I mean,
I hope he starts.
DK, be on the watch. Injury wise,
just really keep an eye on Steve Smith this week. Devo, you know, he's probable for week 3, but he should be good to go.
Moving on.
Let's see. Ooh, wait, East Coast. Yeah, you got a bunch there. Although, keep an eye on Brandon Lloyd.
Not starting.
He was limited in practice due to a minor injury. They're considering him a low-end starter. Also, Antonio Gates did return to practice. Keep track of his progress. So
yeah.
It's going to be a game time.
If he's not a definite start, I've got a backup in place. And Jennings, I know he's got issues back to practice, from what I understand, and he's not in my starting lineup. You need to show improvement. 2 produced for me, but not back in my lineup.
All right. So moving on, second matchup for this week, we've got the Burn and the Barflies. Battle between the sheets, part 2.
And the Burn's in desperate need of a win.
She is, and you know what's sad is the Burn usually comes out swinging. And no checking her lineup and letting things ride. And this year, sweetheart, you may want to start watching what's going on, especially with the running back situations where more running backs are doing better.
Aaron Rodgers, she's been able to fall back on him in the years past. She has not been able to do that so far this year, and I think it's hurting her a little bit.
Matchup-wise, there's really not a whole lot of points sitting on the bench to look at. C.J. Spuller's been going off. That's good for the Burn. You got Maurice Jones-Drew, who's looking to do 20 points. Yeah. Now, the big question, Andy Dalton or Peyton Manning?
Who's in Dalton playing?
Dalton's got Washington.
Who's beat up, I said already, on defense.
Yep.
And against Peyton Manning, who didn't produce this past week, but he was playing
Houston.
Oof, another brutal defense. That's going to be a judgment call right there. That's going to be tough for him.
That's why we bring it up.
Yeah, you know his man crush. It's going with Peyton.
I would almost have to say go in Dalton.
Yeah,
and it's
against a beat up Washington's defense.
It's a 1-point difference.
After his issues from last week, going against Houston, arguably one of the top 3 defenses.
So injury-wise, I mean,
and they will run the ball down and control the clock. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right. Injury-wise,
looking at Roddy White, still banged up on his knee. He should be good to go.
But Julio Jones as well.
Julio Jones too.
So Roddy White might get some more looks.
Burn, Bradshaw. He's out for week 3. keep an eye on him. You got to pick somebody up to fill his spot. Fred Davis, he's not recommended to start week 3. And Steven Jackson, a little banged up, but he should be good to go.
Yeah, Burn, you got Bush sitting on your
Michael Bush
sitting on your bench. Chicago's running against St. Louis. I know their pass rush has been pretty decent. They've been racking up points, that's for sure. I mean, they've been crushing their defenses. So you may want to look at starting Michael Bush this week. Just FYI.
No choice. I mean, that's
Amari Bradshaw.
Yeah.
So moving on. Matchup number 3, we got Road Rash and the Gnomes. Now, we all know right now the Gnomes are hurting. And normally she's a powerhouse.
Yeah, well, you also have her number 1 overall pick, and Tom Brady's going up against Baltimore's defense this week. And you've got Road Rash sitting at 2-0, so he can afford the loss, but he wants to kind of,
he needs to get that point cushion and start building up.
He doesn't have the point cushion, so he needs to maintain those wins.
He's got Griffin and Vic, we talked about earlier. Looks like he's going to go with Griffin this week, which would probably be a good matchup with Cincinnati.
If Griffin pulls off the running touchdowns that he did, if he gives them to the running back like he did in week
Cincinnati
1.
hadn't had real strong goal line stands, and that's prime territory.
I'm afraid of Vic. I'm watching him play is just scary. I mean, turn the ball over that many times.
So injury wise, I think he's got Austin Collie on his bench. Did they just release him for an injury?
Austin Collie is he's probably not going to start. If he does, he's going to be a risky start and see low production.
I know he got a bad hit last week.
Yeah.
So, gnome wise, we got Aaron Hernandez who's out.
Yep.
Hakeem Nicks who's out, which means Victor Cruz looks good.
Now, is Hakeem Nicks out, or is he just questionable for?
It's everything they said. He is out.
Which makes it even more interesting for Victor Cruz, because he is, without a doubt, going to get the double team going into that game.
Yep.
And
but Victor Cruz has showed his speed the last couple of weeks, and with the matchup they have.
Just because it's your player, don't be like trying to be like, he'll be all right.
No, that's even what I've been reading. So, Owen Daniels. Look at Owen Daniels. Look hard at Owen Daniels. He might be a good filler for.
Oh, well, she's already flipping that. I know she's starting Owen Daniels via Aaron Hernandez.
Well,
and you can't at this point. Here's the question: can you actually drop Aaron Hernandez, knowing that he may not be back for 5 weeks?
Yeah.
At least a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that point you've got an injured player.
Or do you put him out there with someone that's got enough of a tight end to start and be able to put that person on that bench and
sit on
and wait it out? Because going into week 7, all of a sudden you get Aaron Hernandez back and it becomes obsolete. And here's one more thing with the Aaron Hernandez situation: the Pats just re-signed.
Not that he's a Pats fan.
Yeah, not for nothing, but there was they re-signed Kellen Winslow and he basically is Aaron Hernandez. He's a catching tight end that can also block. They brought it back in Deion Branch, so that's basically between the two of them. They're supposed to offset his catches, which makes it even more screwy for both my wide receiver in Brandon Lloyd and Wes Welker. And we still don't know why he's getting the looks.
Yeah,
and it's also you got Gronk back there who